Sometimes we don't struggle to recognize the right knowledge. We hear it once and immediately we know this is what I've been missing. We give a sigh of relief. Finally, I found what I need. And for a moment, everything makes sense. But weeks later, nothing has changed. And it's not because the knowledge was wrong. It's not because the knowledge was not powerful, but because I wasn't prepared for what the knowledge would demand. This is what I call being an unsustainable learner. You're not ignorant, you're not careless, you're just unprepared for the cost of growth. Welcome to today's episode of A More Excellent Year. You see, recognition can be intoxicating. When knowledge explains your problem, oh my God, it feels like progress. When it names your struggle, it feels like healing has finally come. When it gives language to your pain, it feels like you're finally moving forward. But understanding alone is not equal to transformation. Insight is not obedience. Clarity is not completion. At first, new knowledge can feel empowering. You start strong, you talk about it, you share it, you feel aligned. Then the real work begins, and progress is slower than you expected. Old habits don't disappear politely. Discipline replaces excitement. Consistency becomes boring, and results take time. And suddenly, that same knowledge that inspired you now feels so heavy. And this is not because it has suddenly become ineffective, but because it demands persistence without applause. And this is where many people quietly walk away. They don't reject the knowledge, they just stop obeying it. And that is where growth quietly dies. The unsustainable learner knows what must change, but does not know what it will cost to change it, or is not willing to pay the price. The unsustainable learner assumes that having an insight will reduce the effort, assumes that having clarity will shorten the process, that motivation will carry them through. But real learning does not reduce resistance, it actually reveals it. The moment the knowledge asks you to repeat uncomfortable actions, to delay gratification, to confront habits that you benefit from, to endure slow, invisible progress, the true cost becomes visible. And many of us were never prepared to pay it. Now, there are two types of unsustainable learners. Number one, the uninformed optimist. They don't even know the cost. They expected quick change. They expected visible results with minimal discomfort. But when the reality didn't match their expectations, they assumed that everything has failed. They don't realize that the problem is not the knowledge. The problem is that their unrealistic and uninformed expectations are not matching to reality. They were uninformed and they were unprepared. Number two, the informed but unwilling. They knew the cost. They just didn't want to pay for it. They liked improvement in theory, growth in principle. They liked transformation as an idea, but not the sacrifice, not the discipline, not the inconvenience. They want the reward without the repetition. They want the harvest without the patience. Both learners start with enthusiasm, but they stop when the learning becomes demanding. Sustainable growth begins when excitement is replaced by decision. When you decide to continue without motivation, to repeat without novelty, to obey without immediate reward, that's when learning becomes productive. Growth does not happen at the point of inspiration. It happens after resistance, after boredom, after frustration. If you quit whenever knowledge becomes uncomfortable, you will remain permanently informed and permanently unchanged. So before asking, does this even work? Ask yourself, am I willing to do what this requires consistently, patiently, without guarantees? Because most times the knowledge works. What fails is sustained obedience. The cost of knowledge is not learning it. The cost is living it. And the question is not whether the truth or the knowledge is powerful, but whether you are prepared to carry it long enough for it to change you. Has today's episode blessed you as much as it has blessed me? Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, and do not forget to subscribe if you have not already done that. Until next time, keep winning, keep being you, and keep working on that knowledge because I know it would work for you.